Remember, guys, the key to big money is not trading all the time. It's trading right and then waiting. How do you decide my position size? Well, it's very simple. You look at how you determine how big of your portfolio you want to make the position. In my case, let's say 7 to 10%. Right now it's at about 6-7% of my portfolio, but I didn't get full size on it. And then you also look at like on the range on the chart. So if I buy 50,000 shares in the high 28s and my stop is gonna be mid 27s, that's gonna be a decent risk, $60,000 risk. Am I willing to risk that much? So it has to do with the amount you want to risk and how big part you want it to be of your portfolio. It depends. Sometimes I buy full size immediately, sometimes I add to my positions. It depends. Usually my position sizes, they used to be bigger, but now most of my swings are maybe around 10% a new position, 15% if it's a big position. They used to be bigger when my accounts were smaller, but I don't take as much risk anymore. I don't give a shit. I made my money. Now I just try to get by with as few headaches as possible. I'm also gonna work on some blog posts on my 3 main setups and variations of those, so I don't get these questions all the time. If I'm gonna do this or that. There's really only 3 setups I trade. And some variations of those. 3 setups that occur over and over and over again. They occurred 10 years ago, they occurred 50 years ago, they occurred 100 years ago. And I have the proof, because I've done my research. For some reason, people don't do their research. They just keep trading and doing these random things, and like I realized, like, after the first year or 2, I did these random things. I followed other traders, but thankfully I realized, like, I need to figure out how stocks move. I need to go back historically, look at thousands of charts, and actually get a feel for what do stocks move on? How do they move? And I'm still working on it. I've done it for 7 years now. Most people are not willing to do that. They do a bunch of random stuff and they get a bunch of random results. Which one? NIO? Kramer Bassing SHL? That's good, because if he can't bring it down, it means there's a lot of buying there, or demand. I may go long SHL actually. Let them bash. If they can't bash it down, it means there's demand. That's a very good thing. NIO, what's this, going straight up? No, it's not. It's not. Okay. I remember when this thing was supposed to go bankrupt. This workhorse is now up 170% since I sold it. Oh my god. I don't trade options. I do not trade options. Yeah, rug pull is imminent. This thing is gonna go down to low 40s in the next 2-3 trading sessions. Or okay, maybe not 2-3, 3 to 5. Question is, how much are you willing to pay to play? That's the question. Yeah, everything expensive. Everyone wants to short the shit out of it. It's a nosebleed valuation. You have a company that's worth as much as Ford that doesn't even have they barely have a working prototype. That's where we are in the markets right now. Any idea what SHL is even doing? I really don't. Let's see, electrified big rig from blah blah blah. Okay, some kind of oh, yeah, whatever. Just trading price action. And price action right now says that there is demand for SHLL while there is distribution in nickel. That's what I see right now. NIO opening, yeah, he could, you know what, this thing could do something crazy. But I'm not gonna chase it up here when the entry was in the 740s. Very hard to chase it. Apps, yeah, but it's straight up. There's no. The entry on this thing was on the earnings day. I remember I passed on it on the earnings day because it was a pretty thin stock. It still is. But the numbers were really good. Had it been, you know, 2-3 times more liquid, I would have bought it. But it wasn't, unfortunately. Now Soxel is breaking higher. All the semis are going. The entry was 2 days ago. I missed it, and I missed it again. Yeah. Solo, yeah, Solo is going nice. The entry was 3 days ago, unfortunately. Or I mean, I guess maybe opening range highs today, but it's easy to say now in hindsight. It's always so easy in hindsight. Oh, Workhorse wants to go higher. It's about to take out highs of the day. I really hope this thing goes like 25, 27 today, and then maybe hits 30, 32 on Monday, and we may get a trade on Monday. Do you hold as long as the stocks hold? Yeah, most of the time. Depends on the stock. If it's an institutional quality stock, I use the 10 and 20. But it's if it's like a pump or like a small cap, like a total hype stock, those trade a bit differently. Then I use, you know, I use like the intraday, like a 20 and 65 EMA more aggressively. So it depends on the stock. But I have blog posts. I'm gonna try to put on some blog posts a little bit more often. I did a blog post yesterday. For those who missed it, you can go find it in my Twitter, the link. Yeah, 20 days a good moving average to use on institutional, like large cap stocks. Great research. I wouldn't call it research. It's just, you know, just an observation. Livongo is really the only long setup right now I'm excited about. Like if this thing starts breaking higher, I may add a few. Let's see, how many am I long? I'm long 15,000 shares right now. I'll add another 10 if it starts breaking out of this range. PDD, yeah, PDD entry was opening range highs. And now it's all about waiting. Now it's all about waiting. You get your entries on the best stocks and then you start waiting. Remember guys, the key to big money is not trading all the time. It's trading right and then waiting. Yeah, undercut and rally, absolutely. Works really well. Let's see if we have some good examples right now in my portfolio on undercut and rally. Right now, let's see. Like if you get an undercut of a previous low that gets bought up immediately in an uptrend, that's a bullish sign. That's very bullish. The FMCI, this is one. This one I was long all the way. Had a big dip, right? Undercut the rising 20-day, but it immediately got bought back up. That's a bullish sign. That's one I can Melee too, look at this thing. Had a big rally, undercut the 10-day here, and it immediately got bought back up and closed above the range, above the 10-day. Those kinds of things happen all the time. Like if you have stock in an uptrend, you get an undercut of the rising 10 or 20 or sometimes the 50-day moving averages, and it reclaims quickly. That's a bullish sign. But the key is it has to be in an uptrend. Can't be some random stock. Here too, Livongo had a big run, went sideways, had a pullback below the 20-day, but it reclaimed immediately. That's a sign of strength.